Let's check YouTube to make sure that we actually did. Yes, we are live. So good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. And I'm going to let my co-hosts introduce themselves. And there are a lot of them, so we're going to be doing a lot of sprints. And yeah, it's going to be a fun time. So Barrett, why don't you take it away?
All right. Hi, everybody. I am Barrett Laurie. Over on my channel, I offer authors and content creators insights into how they can expand their reach and hopefully convert those into sales conversions. I also do monthly videos about chronic illness, specifically my journey with Crohn's disease. If any of that sounds of interest to you, head over to my channel and I will try to entertain you there. Today, I'm going to be writing some short fiction pieces that I'm doing. I did a Charlie Dorset's event on Pride, and I'm expanding that into 12 short episodes. So I'm writing the short stories for those so I can premiere those later in the summer.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Dang, that was good. Hold up. Okay.
At 8 a.m.
Right? Hello, everyone. I am Kahilah Harry. I am a fellow author tuber. I document my personal journey with my writing and soon to be self-published authoring this year, fingers crossed. And I plan to work on one of my fun projects, aka projects I don't plan on publishing at all or at the moment. And yeah, I'm just trying to finish this draft this month.
Fair enough.
Okay, so hello, my name is Miguel. I am a teen aspiring author, and on my AuthorTube channel, I make videos about my sort of crazy writing journey, which is so far writing my first draft, and also other things related to writing and reading that I am interested in.
Nice.
So my name is Nina. I am an aspiring author from Austria, and I'm going to work on a book that I am writing for Camp Nano, or trying to finish in Camp Nano, and hopefully query at some point in the future, maybe.
My name is Robert Jones. My channel is The Story Detective. I have been an artist and a writer my entire life. Professionally, I've worked for every major comic book company out there for about 11 years. And currently, I am working on stockpiling novels. I've stockpiled a few of them to get ready for self-publishing, and today I'm going to be working on the second draft of what's going to be my first novel released into self-publishing. My channel does videos on writing craft, and I also do tech videos. That's where I'm at.
He also reviews lightsabers. So
Yes, and they're fun reviews.
Okay, I'm gonna pop up the 4-stream code for the first room, and then I will do a quick intro, although I believe everyone in the chat already knows who I am. So 3 Echo Romeo Victor Victor 7F. I will read that again later in a moment. But my name is Zara Hoffman. I'm the self-published author of 6 books, 2 trilogies, a young adult paranormal romance trilogy, and a new adult sci-fi romance trilogy. This just came out on Tuesday. This is not the final copy because Amazon's taking forever to send it. But yes, I'm very happy. This came out while I was on family vacation, so that was interesting, but very happy to have these 2 trilogies done and out in the world. And today I'm going to be writing a AuthorTube script and editing the 3rd episode of my podcast with Kelli Wright, who was supposed to be here on screen, but understandably is not, as she just gave birth yesterday. And
She's in chat though.
Yeah, she is in the chat.
How?
Good morning,
How?
Kelli.
I don't know. I did not ask her to be. So everyone give Kelli some love. Her Ko-fi link will be up when we plant the tree that she picked. Yeah.
Congratulations.
And Barrett was putting double duty in the chat. Hello, Hannah. Looks like today's going to be a lot of fun. I'm unfortunately not going to be able to make it, but I hope that everyone can get in some great progress wherever they're doing. That's okay, Hannah. Regina is here. Charlie is here. Rosalind is here. Regina is also on Twitch and used some of my emotes as a subscriber. So
cute.
Yeah, she's obsessed with them. As am I. So very happy when they're used. Tiara, hello. Already said hello to Kelly. And Regina saying great books. Thank you. She's read all of them. Miguel is also in the chat saying hi to people. So the forest room is up. People have entered, including Kahilah. And we are going to start our first sprint the moment I update the banner. Timers haven't liked me on StreamYard hasn't liked my timers since the start of 2021, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I now do it in the ticker where I say sprint ending at a certain time. And then I normally overshoot it by a minute. So I will try to be better this time. And yeah, so ending at...
I have a question.
Yes.
Since I don't normally use productivity apps, I don't know how to find the room on Forest.
Sure. Apologies, everyone. My lighting's about to get darker so that the ring light doesn't ruin what I'm about to show on my screen. So, in the Forest app, ignore the faces of people because I'm the one running the room. At the top, you tap the thing that looks like the hourglass and the flame, and you turn on plant together mode.
All right.
And then your buttons at the bottom mine say cancel on plant because I'm the one running the room, but they will say create room or join room. And you click join room, and then you enter the code that I put up on screen at the start of every sprint because the code always changes. And in between sprints, after one has ended, you have to click the arrow in the top left corner to leave the room so you can enter another room.
Okay.
Anuia, hello. Regina said, hey, everyone, I'm over on Twitch, so I can use the emotes. Good to see you all. Yeah, she said that on the YouTube chat. Kelly says, sorry about the sirens. I live in New York City. Kelly said, just wanted to pop in before getting some rest. I hope you all have some good productivity today. Love you, Kelly. Get some rest.
Yes, please.
You could probably already still be sleeping, but thank you for waking up just to say hi. Author Lauren Adele, hello. Found me through Barrett, so thank you for the new viewer, Barrett.
Yes. Good to see you. Good morning.
Let's see. Miguel's in the room. Hannah, Nina.
I'm trying to download the app. I'm behind. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. For time, Barrett, would you mind if we start
go ahead.
and then for the next one?
I will be ready for the next one.
Great. Okay, that means I need to update the thing. And we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. 10-minute warm up, whatever you need to do. And we are back. That was the end of the first sprint. How did everyone do? I had one bite of breakfast and then I got caught up in podcasts.
I did pretty well. I read over previous pages and made some corrections, getting caught up and back in the rhythm of where I left off.
I downloaded the app.
I wrote 188 words.
I got 143 words, and I'm trying to write on my laptop for the first time since I normally write by hand.
Me too. Nice.
How's the laptop going for you?
I seem to get a little distracted more, but I'm trying to get the hang of it still.
That's great.
It's a different experience. I used to write by hand when I first started out, and typing, I found different keyboards have a different effect, so experiment a little.
Yeah. Oh, I wrote 226 words.
Of course you did.
Sorry.
No, I love it, but it's just, you know.
I feel like that was
I
a
know.
sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you shouldn't be sorry, but it's like, yeah, of course you did. Woke up at 5 a.m. her time and 10-minute sprint, pounded out crazy
I'm a
amount
morning
of
bird.
words.
I love the morning, early morning. Like 6 a.m. is my waking up time. So
I feel like AuthorTube is filled with morning people, and I've become more of a morning person, but I'm not a morning person.
understandable.
You've adjusted to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I used to be a morning person. I'm readjusting.
I've never been a morning person. I don't think I ever will be.
That's okay.
That's okay.
I'm more of a night person myself since less people are awake at that time.
True.
I mean, fair.
My bedtime's like 10 o'clock, the latest.
Same.
So I'm not a night person at all. I get tired at 8.
Other than Sarah Sutton and Sarah LeBrat, I think most of AuthorTube is like morning people. But Sarah LeBrat is always like, oh yeah, it's like 1 a.m.
And I got 1,000 words.
And,
I'm like,
and I got a bunch of words, and I might make myself pancakes and then continue writing.
right. I'm like, what?
And then Sarah is like, her vlogs are like, oh, it's 2 a.m. So I think I should probably go to sleep. But I had coffee at like 3 p.m. So maybe, and I took a nap at 5. So I might be up a little bit longer. And I'm like, lady, you do you, but
I would die.
it's like I have to go to sleep by 1 a.m. or I can't function. Says the person who went to sleep at 2 a.m. last 2:30 and woke up at 8:30 this morning. So
Graduate school life, though. I remember that.
oh no, it's not graduate school.
Oh.
It was me rewatching.
Grad school had me all over the time schedules, so I felt that.
Yeah, I mean, my grad school class is late, so sometimes my brain doesn't shut
Unwind.
off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, I was watching Lucifer. I was rewatching Lucifer, I should say, because have I rewatched Shadow and Bone? No. Have I rewatched Lucifer for like the millionth time? Yes.
Oh, I need to rewatch Shadow and Bone. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Regina was explaining, I'm going to put up the force room code soon, I promise. Regina was explaining the internet to her dog because they were barking. Mercurial, hello. Maddie came in. Sabra came in. Mia came in. And everyone was saying hi to each other. Rosalind did research on the game for my story, which, great. Everyone lost the game. Thank you, Rosalind, for that. Saying hi to each other. Oh, no. Is it just a checkup or is like you're going in for a thing? I hope the puppy's okay. And yes, all dogs are puppies forever. Don't care their age.
Just like all cats are kitties. Kittens.
Yeah. I'm undid all my stitches because I realized I messed up my design. For a second, I was thinking like hospital stitches,
Me
and I like started to
too.
freak out. And
Okay.
that just says that I've been in the hospital too many times with freak accidents and have gotten stitches multiple times. So I'm glad it wasn't that. Sorry you had to undo them because I know that's a pain as someone who's done knitting, crocheting, and embroidery, but and sewing. But yes, much better than what I thought. Still write by hand when I need a break. Yeah, I do everything virtually.
Love write by hand.
Regina's praising you. She also said that she was loving your videos because she started watching them since I
I saw her comments. I'm like,
oh man, I can't write by hand. My handwriting is not pretty. My handwriting's okay. And people have said it's pretty, but the thing is that my hand just cramps way too easily.
And I can type faster than I can write.
Yeah, same. So like, it's legible, and some people call it pretty. I don't think it's pretty, but if I wanted to, I could theoretically without the problem that some people have of like, oh my God, I can't read what I wrote. But, I have the problems that we just talked about. So
I still write all my notes and my scene cards by hand because when I'm planning and plotting, then I need that time to think.
Yeah, that makes sense. Forcing myself to transition from a morning to night person in preparation for my new job.
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah.
Okay, I want more details, so DM me on Instagram.
Congrats on the job, I guess.
Yeah, right? She moved because her husband got a job in a different area, so she just got a job.
Congrats.
So congrats. I want to say something, but for people who haven't finished season 5,
I'm
still on season 1.
Kahilah.
I'm sorry, okay? I watched so many shows.
I think season 2 actually might be my favorite season. At first, I thought it was season 4, which is amazing. Don't get me wrong. But I think season 2 is my favorite, then season 4, then season 5, then season 1. Season 3, I pretend like you can't skip it, unfortunately. But the writing was so bad that it deserved to get canceled on Fox after the 3rd season. Then Netflix saved it and gave it season 4 and 5, and we're getting a 6. So like, I'm happy. But,
wow, okay.
But people are like upset that like it got canceled, and I'm like, well, if you look at the 3rd season, it deserved it. Like, so 200 words in.
Nice.
Oh, Sabra. My bad. Sorry.
No, I did it too.
All dogs go to heaven.
Good movie.
Love that movie.
I was so good. Well, Anya, I love writing by hand. I have the best ideas writing that way. Cool.
Same.
When I had my eye procedure, I had to handwrite and pay someone to type up the file.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
That's commitment.
New pup is having tummy issues as we adjust diet, so we want the vet to check on him.
Oh, no.
Otherwise, he's doing great. Okay.
Good. Has anyone tried the voice typing in Word or Scrivener, any of those where it's like voice?
I have.
It works?
My brain doesn't work for dictation. It's like I have to see the words on the page. I don't know why. Because I don't know why. It's not that, like, I'm obviously thinking the words, but it's not like I'm hearing them and then just transcribing them as if I were a courtroom typist or something, writing down what's happening. I just...
Because I assume punctuation. I'm assuming you're throwing in punctuation as well, like as you're talking.
Yeah, but that's not the problem for me. Also, I think it's because like I taught my mom how to text type with a voice to text type on her phone. She doesn't write novels too, although if she wanted to, I suppose she could. And Kate has done it and to great success, but my brain just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Just curious. I want to try it.
I tried it and it did not work for me.
Didn't work for you? Okay.
No.
It takes time. I worked a day job for a while, so my only time to really write, I mean, I planned everything at home, but I would dictate spare times during the day.
Yeah.
And it was hard at first. And then after I got into it, it was great for a first draft. I wouldn't recommend it for doing quality. But...
Right. That's what I was thinking, first draft. And I think it depends on just what your writing style is. I think my work being communications in the past, writing so many press releases and stuff, dictation was like a thing I did for work every day. So I almost wonder if that won't, make zero draft, first draft writing easier, was the idea. We'll see. I don't know. It'd be a disaster. Who knows?
I know that Kate said that the first time she tried it, she didn't check every so often, and it would make an error, and then by the time that she checked it, she wouldn't remember what it was supposed to be. Yeah. So, I think there's that pitfall to avoid. Yeah. But otherwise, it seems to work for some people very well, and people have written books on this is how you write super fast. And then I start reading in their dictation, and I'm like, and that was a waste of my money.
No way to write anything great when you're dictating.
Yeah.
Unless you have an app that you can fix things or dictate. Yeah. And you get errors. Sometimes it's like playing Mad Libs. And I recommend going back over what you dictated that day quickly while you remember it. If you wait a month and come back to it, stay there. And then there was one time, which I can't repeat live, there was something in there that I'm like, how did it make this words that I was saying?
But I mean, my brain does that. When I just write, I write the most ridiculous sentences. And I gave a first draft of a short story to my friend. And there was a whole sentence that did not make any sense. Spelling errors, everything. Some words were just missing. Mm-hmm. So that happens.
You try to talk fast and it doesn't understand it. So it blurs everything together and it tries to copy its own rhythm. And slowly, clearly, as clear as you can, and you'll still get mistakes.
Now I'm kind of curious. It might be fun just to read the mistakes.
Yeah.
Save a copy with all the mistakes. Save a draft version of the copy with all the mistakes, and then you can go in and make them.
Yes, should document it.
It'd be fun. You could put it in a vlog and be like, here's what the patient thought I said. Here's what I meant.
That would be funny.
Okay, Maddie said no Lucifer spoiler. She still hasn't watched it, even though I've been on her for it. I introduced you to Hades 10. I promise I would not lead you astray, even though I'm recommending things about the king of the underworld in two different mythologies.
We love the king. Okay.
Okay. Lauren says season 4 and then season 1 for her in preference. Season 1 is good because it set everything up, but I think the writing got better as the show went on.
Except season 3.
Well, season 3 was a train wreck. And it had 2 bonus episodes that Netflix just slapped on at the end. But if you're watching it for the first time, you think, oh, it's the rest of the season. And it has nothing really to do with the plot. And there is one episode smack dab in the middle that doesn't really add anything to the plot, but then it's referenced in a later episode where it's oh, this thing happened, but it doesn't go in any deeper really. So personally, I think you can skip 3 episodes in season 3 and it's still too long and bloated and whatever, but whatever.
I mean, I'm still watching The Flash, so I can get through season 3 of Lucifer.
That is true. But the interviews between Tom Welling and Tom Ellis, the Toms, for season 3 were funny. They're the exact same height or something. There was a question where it was who's taller? And they're like, I think we're both the same height.
I love that.
Kelly, good morning. Regina, dictation, yes, the words come fast, but there's a lot of cleanup.
Okay.
Charlie says, trying to fix dictated typos takes as much time as for me to write. So for her, it's not really worth it.
Fair.
Talking about the puppy. Yeah, it took my mom and I a while to figure out my dog's diet because she actually had SIBO, which is, I used to know off the top of my head, but it's a gut thing, and it's really hard to diagnose in dogs. So the fact that our vet did it was amazing, because now she's back to like good energy and stuff, and she used to be so lethargic. And it could have ruined her kidneys if we hadn't caught it. So she's fine. I did watch this scene.
That was great.
The one for Crisis of Infinite Earths. I watched that scene. I watched the episode without any context, but I did watch the episode so I could see that, where they were like, Tom Ellis had posted the picture of him with the actor who plays John Constantine.
Yes.
Or the actor who played John Constantine posted it or whatever, and they're like, oh, hanging out, and everyone's like, no, you're filming this together, and they're like, no, we're not, and it's like it's like Lucifer never lies, but Tom Ellis clearly does.
Right? Oh gosh, that was great.
Season 1 is one of my favorite lines. Okay, which line? It's not going to be as long as it's not a spoiler for Anya. What line? Because I need to know what your favorite line is. Also, there's a dinner scene in season 5B. It's called Family Dinner. It's so amazing, but that's all I'm going to say. Okay. Ara has been watching Leverage Redemption now that it's out. Okay, I don't know what that is. Please tell me what streaming service it's on. If it's one that I don't have, I'm sorry. I'm not paying for an extra one out of all the okay, 51. This sprint is ending. I will read the comment about Maddie's favorite line after the sprint. So in 3, 2, Banner, where are you? 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. I overshot it by a minute, but
Yeah, I was wondering that.
I think it's because I was bringing you back in, and then I was doing this, so
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
The streamer just did something.
Yeah, it kicks you out often, which sucks. Okay. Let's see. Lauren had to leave because she's going to the Best Buy Geek Squad so they can hopefully recover her work in progress because Word made it disappear after 3 months of writing.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh,
That's tragedy.
Yeah.
is. Email your work, everybody. Try to do it after every time I'm done. The pain.
I lost a lot of work because my flash drive corrupted and I'd put it on the flash drive and not on like, and then the other backup that I had, I didn't have with me at the time. Ugh, it was whatever. But I'd emailed.
I work off of this. Everything goes onto these.
Yeah,
I had sent. I had more of my current stuff, so it was like okay because I'd been using Scrivener and Cloud or whatever, and that was fine. But I had some stories from like forever ago that I hadn't switched over to Scrivener yet, and they couldn't recover those. But I had emailed them to Critique Partners like a long, long time ago.
Nice.
So I was like, oh, thank God.
Yes.
Yeah, if your hard drive crashes or there's problems depending on what type of PC you're using, because some of them, especially those that you get in Walmart, really aren't a bargain. They have slow hard drives and old chips. So you can get a SATA connector, and if you can get somebody to put a solid state drive in your computer, you can hook your hard drive up to the SATA connector and clone it, and everything will go onto the solid state drive, and you'll be able to actually access things more quickly, and it's a way to recover things that get lost.
Nice.
Oh, did not know that.
That's a great
When I lost the stuff, I had briefly switched over to a Razer laptop, which not cheap. And my mom was like, okay, you're switching back to Mac. And I was like, I don't think that was the problem. And she's like, I don't care. You've never had this problem with Mac. Just do what you need to do to switch.
Glorious.
Yeah.
So because we were talking, and I just copy paste my work from Word to Google Docs and send an email with what I have to myself.
Smart.
That's smart.
Because that made me paranoid.
Oh yeah.
It should make everyone paranoid. Please save and back up your work.
Yes.
Yep.
I also
Same
get the
with
same tip.
hydrate. And then I forgot to mention because most people have been on the YouTube side of this stream. And this is my first stream of the month because I was on vacation. But for this month, I created a Streamlabs charity fundraiser for NaNoWriMo, so you can go there.
Cool.
It's the links in the YouTube description. I just remembered that it's obviously not in the Twitch description because there is no Twitch description. So let me just copy and paste the link for people who are watching on Twitch.
Wow, 300 words. Someone did really well there.
And has Black Widow on in the background.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
You're really winning today.
I need to watch it. The Super Carlin brothers have this kind of crazy theory about it, and I want to see if they're right.
Ooh.
They've called other things in the past, so,
I haven't watched it yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Same.
Okay, people are in the room, which means I need to do math again. Okay.
I haven't kept up with what's going on for the Marvel movies. Is there any indication that they're going in the direction of like the House of M with the next wave? Because we had the WandaVision, and it was very
Well, the Super Carlin brothers think that that's what's going to happen
that's
because also we have the Multiverse of Madness coming up,
Mm-hmm.
and then there are all these rumors about kind of like a Spider-Verse type of thing in the live action because everyone wants Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, and shoot, the first
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. I was like,
Maguire.
I'm gonna Tobey Maguire. Like all people have been like, oh my god, there are rumors, and every time they ask one of the other actors, are like, I don't know, and I'm like, I don't really believe you, but like, okay.
I want it. We need it.
Into the Spider-Verse was such a good movie.
Yeah.
Okay, we are going to start in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. How did everyone do for that?
Not bad. Got a couple of pages edited.
Cool.
I finished an outline of a short story and then stopped because I was like, I'm going to get paused. So I'm just going to stop and come back next time.
I got 205 words.
Awesome.
Well,
Writing by laptop is good so far, but I still prefer writing by hand.
I mean, it's good that you know now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got 163 and something to eat because I forgot to eat lunch and it's already 4 p.m.
Whoa, that's a late lunch.
That sounds like something I would do.
Me too.
Whoops.
Food becomes later.
I just get really involved in stuff. And then like I don't get the hunger and thirst cues. And then like once I finally like pull myself out of something, it's like, oh, I'm starving and I'm really, really thirsty. Congratulations, Regina. That's very exciting.
Super exciting.
For those of you who are wondering where Kahilah went, she had to take her dad to the airport, and I knew that, and then I still forgot to give her time to do an outro. So she's an author tuber. She's going to be self-publishing a book later this year. She has awesome vlogs and other videos on her AuthorTube channel, which is linked down below, and you can also follow her on Instagram, which is also down there.
I love that Leah said, I backed up my work and worked on some outlining. Was the backing up because of our suggestions about constantly saving your work?
It probably was. Also, Leah, I forgot to say hi to you when you came in. I had seen you come in during a sprint, and then I totally forgot to say hi to you. Yes, absolutely. Okay.
Yeah, we feel you.
Transfer some really old writing onto an external hard. Yeah. Argued with the coworker and won. Sorry you had an argument, but glad you won.
Glad you won? Yeah.
50 words and then got distracted by Black Widow.
So far, how's Black Widow? Like, do you want to give us like a star rating, like out of 5, like just what you're feeling, and then no other spoilers would be amazing.
Yeah, no spoilers.
No spoilers.
You know what? You could do thumbs up, middle, or thumbs down.
Yes, something general, so we know generally.
Because I think it might be hard to do like a star rating when you haven't finished.
That's true.
It's not like a TV show where you can be like, oh,
right.
like,
so far, so
far. I edited. Okay, so since this morning, and I was doing a little bit of editing before the first sprint, but not much, of the podcast, I've edited 4 minutes edited time, but I think it was maybe like 6 minutes unedited, and it's mostly just me cutting out like awkward breaths that you can hear really loudly thanks to our mics that you don't hear, on a live stream.
Podcast editing is no joke. Like it's mad props.
Thank you. I like it. It's fun, but I just look at the time and I'm like, oh, that was 10 minutes of edited, and it took me over an hour to like.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. It's totally worth it. I'm really excited for people to hear the podcast, but yeah.
Editing for me on the YouTube videos was it was very time consuming because I tried to put in as many effects and make it look as visual as possible. And
you have a killer production value, though. I mean, top.
It's so worth it.
Oh, totally. I am in awe of your videos. I sit there and say I'm amateur hour by comparison to what's going on over there. So
it's fun, but it was cutting too much into my writing time. So when I get back, I find a happy medium. Take those deep dives and better production on some and some quicker ones in between so I can actually get ahead for a change.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
My code.
6 Golf Alpha 8 Juliet Sierra Mike. I will read that again right after okay, Maddie is trying to rework chapters, and this first big confrontation is that the one where he's forced to sleep on the couch? She's writing a Hades and Persephone retelling, and I'm all about it.
Oh, I love that.
Anyway, I think it's really good so far. Awesome. Okay, so she likes Black Widow so far.
Oh, good. Okay.
Nia is working on the font for our 10K relay, which is happening on the 16th.
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, because we need to make a graphic to announce it's happening. Minor detail. Okay. Nicole the Blind Mage, good morning. Thank you for following me.
Good morning.
Lauren is back. Her ride is not here yet.
Yay, the Geek Squad waits.
Maddie, oh no, I forgot about that. No, this is Persephone facing off with Zeus. How do you forget the fact that you posted a teaser where you made it very clear that Hades is stuck on the couch because Persephone is pissed at him?
I mean,
like that's gold. How do you forget
gold.
that?
I'm mad I didn't think of that.
Okay, so very different heat level of what Maddie is writing, but Scarlet St. Clair's Hades and Persephone series, I only read A Touch of Darkness because I read it in tandem with A Game of Fate, which is Hades' perspective, and she hasn't published the other 2 books from Hades' perspective yet, so I don't want to read books 2 and 3. And then the 4th, A Touch of Darkness and A Game of Fate.
Okay.
And then the 4th book in the Hades and Persephone series, which is mostly told from Persephone's point of view, because then she has the Hades saga, which is told from his point of view. Mm-hmm. The final book, which hasn't come out yet either, is going to be a dual point of view. So I want to read them like dual point of view. Yes. With the separate books, because some of her like diehard fans have created like read these chapters in this book and then switch to the other book and read these chapters or whatever. And they did that for the first 2 books.
Wow.
They both came out, but then she hasn't come out with the Hades ones yet. And I'm like, I started this way, which means I have to continue this way instead of reading the Persephone books straight through and then the Hades books and then the final one. And I was just like, I'm so impatient because they're not going to finish until like 2022. Because the woman is like, oh, they didn't come to me in that order, so like I'm writing them and self-publishing them in the order. I'm like, great, but like please be faster. I know it takes time as a self-published author myself, but as a reader, you're too slow.
I feel like at some point we could do an entire panel discussion on how binging reading has changed.
Oh my God. Yeah. The thing is I've always binge read. Like I can read a book if it's a like average sized romance book, I can read it in like 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah.
And if it's like, a fantasy book or something, I can read it normally in like 5 to 7 hours.
Wow. Well, I'm slower.
But it's like at the cost of eating, sleeping.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
For my body, it's like I don't recommend that.
Out of curiosity, those of you who have already self-published, how do you handle the time in between books?
That's a good question.
With these, I did not give an F. The first 3, like this, I wrote. This took 2 years to write because I had like a year of depression in between. So the 2-year gap just took a longer. And then this was a year after this one. And then these, and I do not recommend this at all, wrote, published, immediately started writing this one so it could be published within 3 months. Did the same for a second to third book. And I recommend that if you're doing rapid releasing, have the books ready at your own leisure and then rapid release them. instead of forcing yourself to work on this crazy deadline that doesn't really allow for life to.
That's what I was going to ask. So is it like content creation where you write and sort of schedule out in advance, or were you writing as you went? Like
I was writing as I went.
Ooh,
and I know, give me a second. Here it is. I keep moving my books around on my bookshelf. So I'm always like, oh, I have it. And then it's like, where did I actually put it this time? So fellow author tuber Jessie Elliott, this is the first four of her Charlie Travesty serial that she co-authored, and the fifth one just came out like a few weeks ago. But they were doing back to back to back to back like I did, and she had done an interview, I think it was with Brittany Wang on her AuthorTube channel, where they're talking about serials, and they're like, oh yeah, we did this, we don't recommend that you do that, and I agreed, and then I still did it. So now it's like, really don't do what I did.
Serials are becoming a thing with these apps that you can upload.
Yeah.
I'm also curious how the 2-year gap went. Did it like completely destroy you, or did
Me
it?
too, like readership wise, yeah.
It didn't. People were actually really, because I was giving updates on the fact that I was still working on stuff. So also, I've never really been good at marketing. So for myself, I have great marketing ideas. I just don't execute them because I'm normally in college, and I'm like, that has to come first. But yeah, the people read the first one, and I think they were just excited to read the second one because it was the best friend and the brother. And, you know, as side characters in the first book, they kind of had some of the best lines. So people were excited about that. And then the third one came out, and, you know, obviously with the series, it always goes less and less readers. But I don't think the 2-year thing hurt as much, because I think with self-publishing, yes, there is in some way the expectation that you do it faster because you don't have the bureaucracy of a traditional publishing timeline and stuff. But at the same time, I think an author can also set the expectation that like a book will come out when it's ready. And if someone's open about that on social media, not necessarily for all the reasons why, because I wasn't like super open about the fact that I was having debilitating depression at the time, you can still be like, oh, I'm working on this, and, you know, it's going to come later than I thought, or, you know, it'll come out when it's ready. And I think readers are more forgiving of that because they understand that a self-published author is like theoretically doing this all on their own, even though I hired a cover designer and, you know, but like I do the formatting and editing and everything else. So
I've been fast drafting for the past couple of years, and I have a couple of one-shot deals, and I have 2 series. And the series that I'm working on, I'm doing it just like comic books, and we're kind of getting back to reinventing how novels come out with self-publishing. So original novels came out, especially big ones, and my series are big stories. They came out of multiple parts, but I'm finishing everything, so it's a big story, and I'm making it like an arc story, so that when it's finished, I will have 4 parts that will launch one every 3 months, and it'll be like a year's time.
That's brilliant.
I like that.
That's really smart.
It's just kind of like what I'm used to, getting ahead for at least 3 or 4 issues of a comic book.
Yep.
But getting ahead 3 or 4 novels was going to be the same kind of thing. But it turned out that I had so many ideas, I've just been blasting away at them. So now I'm nearly finished, and this is going to be my tester for self-publishing, because I figure I'd start out with a shorter novel because I didn't want to dive in with the series right away. But this does part of the series. It leads into it all.
Cool.
I like that.
Me too. Sounds like a smart marketing plan. You won't, you know, you whet the appetite and then keep them coming back, you know, regularly. That's
Hopefully
magic. Yeah.
the way it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did 2 series, and then I was like, okay, I need a standalone, because I was going to do a standalone before this totally jumped the gun and was like, we're getting written now. So.
Cool. Do you know what that's going to be yet, or are you taking a small break since you literally just released within a week?
No, I'm already working on it, but this one is like so much harder because it's dystopian, but it's almost current time. So I can't be like, oh, blah, 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 and then jump into like the more fantastical side of things. So it feels very slow, and I don't know. I might end up switching it to the project that I want to put on Vella instead, because at least that has action in it.
Cool.
I need to figure out how many knives someone can have on their body if they also have 3 guns concealed on them.
And still be able
Because
to
I know that Inej in Shadow and Bone has 14 knives, but she also has an outfit that like allows for all of it, whereas, you know, my person's not going to have that outfit, so I gotta figure out those things.
Like 90s comic books, like especially Cable, when it had like
yes,
guns like hanging out
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the whole point is that they're hidden on my female spy. So, because there's going to be a gun at the small of her back, a gun on her thigh, a gun at her ankle, and then a gun like at her hip. So those are 3. And then, yeah. And then I know she's going to have like a knife in her hair, but I also need something else. I need more knives, but I need to figure out where.
This could be my like content creator brain, but like this could be an amazing video of you doing the research of that, like putting it all on. I just want to see you walking down the streets of New York, like covered in like fake guns. Just see what people say. And
then vlog. This is me getting arrested.
Right. Welcome
for open knife carry or concealed knife carry.
Yeah, I had an idea that for a character that would be like an action character, and I haven't done anything with it yet, but I guess I can tell you. It'll probably be taken by somebody, but he was a tech guy, so every part of his costume was made up of all these pieces that you could put together and fit these different weapons out. Everything.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
That's a really cool idea.
I mean, I would be happy if that were to be the case, you know. But okay, we're gonna just do this, and then we're gonna go back to sprinting. Oh, and Nicole has a question. So, okay, so yes. Wait, is the wedding party not part of that series?
I'm assuming romance, because that's a great romance trope, right?
Yeah, I mean, she writes romance in different genres like I do, but put my vampire bow up for pre-order, but I learned long ago never to do that before the book is finished. Too much pressure. Yeah, I put it up for pre-order while I'm still writing it so that I have a deadline to meet. But the 3-month thing was stupid. 3-month back to back was stupid.
Crushing anxiety would be a problem with that.
Do any of you read more than one book at a time? I normally, if I'm reading multiple books at a time, it's one fiction and one nonfiction, or maybe like a million nonfiction and one novel. But I don't read multiple fiction works at the same time.
I do, but different genres. I never read the same genres at the same time.
Yeah, sometimes I read multiple books. Right now I'm reading one fantasy and one that's kind of a straight literary fiction, but also I've been reading Walt Simonson's Thor Ragnarok series. So that's been interesting.
That's fun.
Well, I haven't read in a while, so like before, I always read one book at a time. That was my style.
Yeah, mostly that's what I do.
Sorry for interrupting.
No, I interrupted you. I got these 2 books at Barnes and Noble a few days ago.
Sabrina is a favorite.
I haven't read it. I love the show.
You're gonna like it then.
Is that the prequel book? I read the book.
Yes.
I read the comic. I read the first Chilling Adventures of Sabrina comic.
Yeah.
And that was so trippy compared to the show.
Yeah.
But I want to read this because I found it while doing a school project last semester. Because I used this as a comp title for something, so that was exciting. And then this is, the 6 Wives of Henry VIII, and there are 6 different female young adult authors who each like got a queen, and then they write her perspective.
I would want to read that because I'm interested in the 6 Wives of Henry VIII.
Yeah, and then a male author wrote Henry VIII's point of view at the very end, and I saw this and I got very excited because A, it's super exciting, but also for my birthday this year in March 2022, I'm seeing Six the musical, which is about them, but it's like a rock concert type of musical. So
Yes,
so I'm excited.
What's the title of that book, Zara?
This is called Fatal Throne. And Refinery 29 calls it a clever feminist reimagining and one of English history's most fascinating moments.
So I got to read that. The one I just finished, which I will tell people was amazing, was Blood Like Magic. I'm doing a review of it on my channel tomorrow.
I used that as a comp title for a different project that I was.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not my project, a school project where we have to like analyze trends a lot of the time. So I did. Yeah. I don't know if Bree is here, but fellow author tuber Bree Bonomo, who I met through Maddie, or I met Maddie through Bree. It doesn't really matter at this point. I asked some of my author tube friends at the time. I was like, who has a story that they're okay with me pitching to like an actual editor who's teaching my book acquisition class? And she was like, oh, I have a witch thing. And I'm like, great. So that's how I found this. And then for another class, we had to pick a trend in like YA or romance or a bunch of other genres or cookbooks or nonfiction. And so I picked the trend of YA fantasy starring a female Black character. And so I called it Black Girl Magic. And then I just went through, and most of them have like illustrated covers, and most of them have gold foil in some way, and some have silver, but mostly it's gold. And
Wings of Ebony, the gilded ones. I'm thinking
exactly, So I went through all of those different books and the sales and things like that.
Nia is reading. We should have buddy read that, Nia, because we both read that at the same time. The thing I loved about Blood Like Magic, which I throw out to anyone, I am a sci-fi lover. I know you are too, Zara. It had a super awesome like sci-fi element that really wasn't sold to me in the blurb. So like that was a nice surprise. I knew it was set in the future, but like the sci-fi portion was way more than I thought it would be. And I loved it. So I will tell people who love sci-fi, there's a lot of it in Blood Like Magic. And it was sort of like sneaky. You know how they do that in YA? Like, not really sci-fi, but it is. So it was great. I can't say enough good about it.
I really want to read it, but it's so hard to get. I don't know why, but everywhere I'm trying to get it, here in Austria at least, it's impossible. And now I'm probably going to get the ebook because that one I can get because I really want to read it, because I also follow the author and I've been watching all the videos.
Yes, like, me too. Yeah.
For a while now, and I really want to read it.
I've loved her story. Like following, her channel has been fun. So
I love that. I love to follow people as they write the novels and then get them published and just see where they started and where they are now.
Yeah.
Her agent sent me the nicest rejection.
Who is the agent?
Christy Hunter.
Okay.
It's weird that I know that. Like I can. It's weird the amount of agents I can rattle off to which authors at this moment in time because it's all in my brain right now. But yes, she sent me.
I mean, that's cool. I just, for me, like I know a few from the internships I've done, and then everyone else I have to look.
Lizelle Sambury.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. Yeah. But I looked her up on Edelweiss. And I was like, there's no marketing plan listed for you. Like, you want to contact your agent for that? She's like, oh, no. They sent it to me privately. They probably just haven't put it up there. And I'm like, cool. But they should put it up there so librarians know that, like, it's actually coming.
You have so much going on in your program that I would love to see. Like, I want you to just do all the content. And all
I want to do videos about it, but I'm kind of just, like...
burned. Yeah, I imagine. Yeah.
Well, it's like... Yeah, I like AuthorTube already has gone on the back burner because I was crazy writing these back to back to back. And now the podcast. So I think I need to make a video on AuthorTube and be like, I've been on here for 1 year. I probably only posted videos for the first 6 months and sprints since then. Thank you for still being here. I have videos planned. I don't know when they'll go up. That's basically what the video is going to be.
Yeah, I'm restructuring everything too. So I think probably next month I will start building my Story Detective website. I'm working artwork now. So I have a question for everybody. What do you want to see in a website that makes it fun? I mean, I guess you could put a blog in there as long as the blog talked about interesting things, but so many blogs get bogged down.
I don't know. I would kind of just, you have your YouTube channel, and if that's, you know, obviously if you cut down on your production value, if that's what you need to do, if that makes it easier to maintain that, I'd rather watch your videos than read a blog and watch your, like, obviously, like, if it's someone I like, I want to consume all the content, but realistically speaking, it's easier to watch a video for me than to read a blog post when all I'm doing for homework is reading.
Yeah. Well, and that would be my marketing advice. I'm doing a whole series on branding for authors, but one of the things I talk about in a video that comes up in August is to take one piece of content and figure out how to use it across all platforms. So to take it and change it just enough so that it's different and unique, so that whatever you set up as your video content, switch it just enough to be a blog, and just enough to then take an image from that video on your Instagram with a little caption that's close but a little different. And then just trying to use one piece of content across lots of platforms for less work.
Transcribing the YouTube video. But yes, maybe changing them up, or maybe
A little.
videos so they're more succinct and can translate into a blog. I have had a few people that said that they get more out of it by reading. But that's
I'm a reader, so it's, and some people are like reader visual is just different. Yeah, the delivery method.
I know I've been kind of bullying LP Savage, who's newbie to novelist, on her website and her Instagram. She's been a co-host for me multiple times. I've kind of been bullying her into making an AuthorTube channel, and it's going to happen. Spoiler alert. But she was saying, like, I don't know what to do for content. And she was like, but I was thinking of taking a lot of my blog stuff and like turning it into like bite-sized videos. And then I was like, yeah. And then you can embed those videos in the blog post, so you get it like both ways and stuff. And then obviously link to the blog post in the video. And she's like, oh, that's smart. And I'm like, was that not the original plan?
The other thing I would tell you, Robert, I'm sure you're going to do this, but pick 3 of your keywords that are successful for you on YouTube and use them in your metadata on your website. Because Google owns YouTube, you will rank higher. And so for people searching for those keywords, you will always move up that ranking on both search engines, number 1 and number 2 in the world. So if you can, find 3 that are good keywords for you and embed them across all of your platforms.
Yeah, my platforms are going to be YouTube and Instagram when I get back to doing this. I decided to pick 2. I'm going to have the website, and yes, trying to integrate that information as widely as possible.
You could also, I know for SEO, it's probably better to have your blog on your website, or you could use your Ko-fi page, and then you don't have to worry about making content for the people who pay you for that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't do any of the Patreon and Ko-fi because of that. I'm afraid of like, how can I create more content? Like, that's the only reason I haven't done it.
Yeah.
Someone said that your YouTube link isn't working in the description. So let me check it out.
Yes, I checked it, and it's not there. Nothing pops up for me.
Did I type it wrong?
I don't know what you have in the description. It's Story Detective Robert Jones. It did get changed.
Robert Jones.
Yeah.
I must have left that part out somehow.
Because when I was using just Story Detective, it didn't pop up as much as when I put my name in there. So as far as the SEO, it worked better.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if that's the correct link. Sorry, everyone. I didn't realize that.
Thank you for pointing it out, Nicole.
Yeah. I am stockpiling videos while I'm taking a break. I've got 2 and maybe a third one where there's an older one in there I might restructure. But so I will be a bit ahead, and I'm going to start dividing my time once I get this artwork done for the website on filming and writing and learning to enjoy it a little bit more without the pressure of the time of the deadline, which I was under constantly with YouTube before, and that was that can be a bit of a drag. That was the one thing I didn't like about it. I liked
the zapper.
Took over.
Yeah.
Barrett, you should still make a Ko-fi.
I should.
Yes.
I don't even know what it is. I'll have to look at it.
It's like a Patreon, but it's also like a Kickstarter and a shop. So it's everything you could possibly want rolled into one.
Cool.
And I'm an ambassador for it. So yes, I will. I have author two friends who are like, oh my God, you're a one-woman army for them. I'm like, yes, I am. They also don't charge as many fees as Patreon. So
Regina, to answer your question, normally fantasy, I'm right now writing a standalone because I got feedback from lots of agents that series is really tough to do as a debut. So write a standalone. So I'm currently writing a standalone that I love that is more magical realism. So there's an element that's fantastical that is never explained in the plot. And I write for Kid Lit. So YA and middle grade is my magic age range because I am an adult child. So
aren't we all?
Thank you for that info. I never knew about the series debut thing.
oh yeah, no, a lot of authors.
Didn't either, Miguel.
This is my water bottle cap. I'm sorry.
I'm not that well versed into publishing things yet.
I learned it, I went out and queried. I had a fantasy series. And what I was told is that in the YA genre specifically, because it's so saturated with series and has been really since 2010, 2009, that you were better off in the fantasy space for writers to try a standalone instead of a series for both getting an agent and being able to sell it to an editor. So the feedback I got from literally 3 different agents out of the 6 I queried was, we like it, but this will be hard to sell. So if you can come back to us with a standalone, there you go.
It's because at every level, people have to take a bet on you. And if you sign on for a series, obviously you're not going to write the first book to end as an end. But if it doesn't do well, the second book is never going to come out, which angers readers and everyone, but also people in the publishing industry. Like, they care about books, even though like authors on Twitter are always like, oh, they don't care. And I'm like, well, they do. They are human and have made a lot of mistakes, but like, it's
a business too,
It's a business. So, there's only so much that they can do at a certain level. So it's easier to get a debut and then, be like, oh, I have this series planned too. And then your agent can be like, great, maybe write another standalone first, or we can jump into the series now that you've proven yourself, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So.
One of the reasons,
I'm looking into
sorry. I think that if you're going to do it, if you're going to be a small business, you have to kind of be your own publishing company. And I didn't want to get stuck in one genre because I like so many different things. So I have the 2 different series and the standalones. They're all different, so that I'll be able to put out a variety of things. Although one of them might go to a small press and might not be part of my my own self-publishing, but getting enough out there, it's like diversification. If you diversify, if one thing doesn't make it, there's a chance that something else might, and you'll see where your bread and butter lies. But still, have fun with it. I say, I don't want to be trapped. I got pigeonholed in my career, and the entertainment world does that very easily. Sometimes fans can too with some bigger authors, but since I'm not there yet, I'm just going to diversify and be that publishing company. I even thought about taking on stories that I plotted and having other writers write them and work with them and kind of like
James Patterson style.
Yeah, but you're going to do it better than him because honestly, the Maximum Ride series, once the other writers came on, whew, that went.
Yeah.
Did not go well.
Newer writers, it could almost be like an internship where they're kind of learning. Yeah, because
I wish more did it apprenticeship style. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it would be helpful for both me and other writers.
Yeah.
I'm also doing developmental edits, but I'm not making that a mainstay because it could easily also devour my time. So if something comes along and it's a friend or somebody that I think is interesting, then sure, I'll do those developmental edits. So I want to make that a part of my website too. Different tiers of it, I think.
Yeah.
Ko-fi lets you offer commissions where people can hire you, and that's how I have people hire me for multiple things now. So Ko-fi's the place to be.
I need to learn more about it. I've had it for a while, but I haven't explored or promoted it. I had like a couple people buy me a coffee, and it didn't seem to go that far that fast, but I had so much going on last year that I just went.
I raised over $1,000 within my first 6 months. on it
Amazing. Good
because
for
I was promoting it like crazy and stuff, and it was to get a new laptop, which I haven't gotten yet, but I will.
It's on the list. Nina, were you going to say something that did we interrupt you, cut you off?
Oh no, I just wanted to say that I am really looking into like traditional publishing and following a lot of YouTubers who talk about it, because I follow mostly self-published YouTubers who talk about it, and I'm really interested in self-pub too, so that's
helpful. Yeah.
something. But
Yeah, you should.
I have been looking a lot into traditional publishing and how the market works and what sells and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Right
I'm
now.
blanking on the person who it is, which sucks. But there was someone who, like, in the pandemic year, posted a video about like they finally got an agent or whatever, and it was. I'm gonna see during this sprint if I can find the person. It wasn't. Yeah. So I'm gonna see if I can find that. But we're gonna start the next sprint. We have this one and then 2 others, and because of time constraints, because I have something at at noon, so I don't want to go too late after the 2-hour mark. I changed the next 2 sprints to 10 minutes, even though they were supposed to be 15 minutes. So
sorry, guys.
Sorry, everyone. No, it's fine. I like chatting with people, especially.
Yeah, I like chatting. I learned some more new things.
Yeah. I don't do chatty streams, but I feel like at some point I just should, because everyone who I've had on as a co-host, I'm like, I'd love to just chat without the pressure of sprints, but I also love the sprints, so maybe just separate it a little bit more every so often to really.
Yeah,
Lainey Crest. That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah.
And then Lindsay just Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Now I don't have to search that during the sprint.
Yeah.
Okay. We are going to start in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. We are stopping this sprint at the top of the hour, and I will put up a ticker. that was the end of our 4th sprint. We have 2 more to go. I did more podcast editing, and I've done so much at this point that I can now hear like a beat too long, even if it's less than a second, and someone who like hasn't, who's just listening would probably never notice it, but I'm like, that's too long. And then I just cut it.
That is peak productivity. How'd everybody do? What'd you get?
Well, I moved on from writing to working on my YouTube videos because I seem to have a lot of videos already planned. I still have a reading vlog to start because I want to go back to reading, and a reading vlog might encourage me to read because people will be watching.
Well, I just subscribed, so I'll be checking out your content.
Oh, thank you.
With Nina as well. I'll be checking y'all out.
Yeah, I'll check.
I got
Yeah.
150 words, and I'm thinking about maybe doing something really sad,
Ooh.
but I'm not sure.
For you or your character? Because if it's for your character,
everyone. It's for my, but it's also sad for me. It has to do with an animal companion.
Oh.
So
is it like does the dog die in this film.com or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
I mean, if it's not cruelty.
Yeah, if it's not gratuitous, right? If it's
not
like
gratuitous, or like, you know, if they're like dying of old age, like it's sad, but like there's no reason not to put that in the story. Whereas if, you know, you have an animal torturer, then, you know, maybe don't show it.
Right.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. Don't worry.
What I love is that writers understand when you say things like, well, it's hard on the character and me. And it's like,
yeah,
I understand that. I say stuff like that to my husband. He's like, just kill him off. Like, what's the big deal? And I'm like, what? Like, there's an emotion.
No, don't you understand? It's not that simple.
So I appreciate when people get it and they're like, no, it's hard for me too.
I'm also thinking, what if I develop another story or I have use for this character I'm going to kill? But
that's right.
But there's so many stories in fiction where characters don't die, so there's always a way to bring them back. So I guess there's that.
Well, in comic books, someone dies, and I'm like, but did they?
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
It's also the same with like a lot of the paranormal shows I watch, where it's like they died, and I'm like, but did they?
Yeah.
And even if they do, the actor comes later and they got possessed by someone else, and it's like same actor playing a different character, and I'm like, look, you know what? I'm okay with that.
Yeah, flashback. So,
well, that's a concern from people that own property. They don't want to disown it by killing them forever, so they never.
Yeah.
I watched a panel once of TV screenwriters who talked about how the most successful shows are the ones that are able to kill off characters and bring them back. Like if there is a success, like, you know, you've made it when you can kill off a character, which makes your audience go, what? I can't believe you killed them. I have to come and watch what happens next. And then you can bring them back. And I always thought that was an interesting concept. Not sure it would work in novels, but get why it works in TVs.
So like for a while I watched the Vampire Diaries because I actually, probably blasphemous, thought they were better than the books to start with. And then the show went crazy and I was like, no. The books went crazy too though. So it's not like one was better than the other at that point, but they built it in that like, if you kill a vampire X, Y, or Z, they're not dead. But if you kill them this way, they're dead. And then in the originals, they pulled a stupid thing where they're like, this person was a witch, so she like put the soul of her vampire son in the body of someone else. Because the rule is you can't be a witch and a vampire at the same time. So like you can't cheat death in two different ways. But it's like, this person died as a vampire, so boom, they're now
a witch.
Like a witch. And I'm like, he was never a witch before he became a vampire.
Yeah, I was debating watching Vampire Diaries, but now I have more doubt after you said that.
No. That was the originals. I think the first 3 seasons of the Vampire Diaries are good. after 5, I stopped watching because the main actress left after playing like 4 different versions of herself because she was a doppelganger.
Comes back in originals, right? Isn't that? Am I
She
thinking
does like for one episode
Season?
where there's a flashback of the original brothers, and it's like, oh, they were like in the same stupid situation that the Salvatore brothers are in the Vampire Diaries. And there's an episode where they all have dinner very tense, and they're like, oh, we've been there, and the guys are like, no, you haven't, and then you find out it's like, no, literally with the same looking woman but different time period, and not a vampire but a doppelganger. Like, yeah, I saw that coming.
I started watching a really bad vampire series on Netflix, and I couldn't get through it. The last one I finished was True Blood on HBO, and that was a while ago.
I never watched it because I was like, I can only handle one vampire thing at a time, because otherwise I'm gonna be like the mythologies, and it's funny because they make jokes about Twilight. Someone finds out that someone's a vampire, and he's like, I don't sparkle in the sunlight. Like, this isn't Twilight. And I'm like, on the nose, don't recommend it, don't care.
The husband got me hooked on Van Helsing. It's graphically gory, violent on Netflix, but it's an interesting twist on the old story. So if you can handle extreme gore and kind of like zombie-ish vampire tale, Van Helsing could be fun.
Okay, I want to watch that. Penny Dreadful was so good with a lot of things. The vampire thing was interesting.
Yeah.
The final season was so good until the end because they were getting canceled. And they're like, oh, we got to wrap everything up after introducing a bunch of new characters. And I'm like, that sucked.
Well, I'm worried that's what's going to happen here because if this season just popped up and they canceled them like midway through that season, they were supposed to have one more. So I'm concerned when I watch this final season that it's going to be that. So we'll see. But I love the idea of Van Helsing being female. That was a fun twist.
They kind of play around with something like that in Penny Dreadful.
Yeah.
I can't go much more into it because you're going to watch the first scene. You're going to be like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, just watch the rest. Yeah. Not City of Angels. That was a train wreck. Cultural appropriation. Kind of, in a weird way, validated Nazism. Not a good thing. Although Natalie Dormer's amazing, but no.
There's so much to unpack.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to do our next sprint.
Perfect.
If you created a Ko-fi page, Barrett, you could do commissions to help people market themselves. Because while I can offer free marketing ideas, and I do often to Sarah Sutton and some other people who I'm really close with through AuthorTube, I'm not like a marketing person. I've taken some marketing classes and I was a PR intern once, but someone who actually knows what they're doing is probably a better bet. Okay. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. that was the end of that sprint. How did everyone do? That was the end of that sprint. Ooh.
Sorry, that was me.
No worries.
Oh, well, for me, I went back to editing a video and then I checked YouTube a little bit, my notifications, and then I searched for some movies because for one of my videos, I'm going to be reading the book and watching the adaptations. Yeah, it's for historical fiction.
Cool.
I had to finish the sentence. Sorry.
No worries.
I wrote again like 200 words. I'm not sure where I started, so just guessing, but it's good. It's going well.
Good. Who's next?
Oh, sorry, Robert was mute.
I
Okay.
said that I did a little more slowly that time, but I had to arrange some things. But I noticed I am planting some trees, which is interesting. I'm kind of getting into this app.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's fun. It's kind of addicting, but the good thing is that if you're addicted to the app, you're actually using your phone less
Yes.
because it locks you out of your phone. Leah finished her outline. Awesome.
Amazing.
I did more editing. My mom came in during that sprint and actually said that we have to leave sooner than I thought we did. She's someone who's like leaves crazy early for her appointments. So I think that actually was our last sprint. I'm sorry. I thought it was going to be our second to last, as the banner obviously says. So I apologize for that. But I hope everyone had a good time. We got 5 of the 6 sprints in, and a lot of chatting. So I still consider that a successful sprint. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already to me, the stream, but also be sure to follow my co-hosts, the ones on screen, Kelly, who's in the description but wasn't able to make it because she gave birth to a baby yesterday, and Kahilah, who had to leave early to take her dad to the airport. Everyone is linked down below. I fixed your YouTube link in the description, Robert. Although, if you search Story Detective on YouTube, you should still find him. And I will be streaming again tonight at 7 p.m. If you are there again, I'll be happy to see you, although I understand that the different times don't work for everyone, so that's why I kind of do them. And I'm going to let my co-hosts do their outros, and then we will say a quick goodbye, or however long it takes for StreamYard to end the stream after I click end.
So, do you want to go first in order?
We could go in order that you introduced yourselves, or it could be in reverse order. I don't care.
You're the boss. You lead.
Okay. Barrett, you.
Okay. I'm going to make it easy. I am so proud of everybody for killing it today in the sprints. I want to thank you for inviting us and having us. And I have loved getting to know Miguel and Nina, who I've not met. I've gotten to hang out with Robert once before, so I've enjoyed his awesome on other streams. But thank you for having me. I appreciate all of you. Keep writing. You're killing it.
Yes, thank you again, Zara, for inviting us. And it was very productive of me. And yes, as Zara said, my channel is in the description, and I hope to make more videos about other writing related things that I am interested in.
Oh, you're
muted.
You're muted.
Sorry, I clicked the wrong button. Thank you, Sarah, for having me and us, because I always get to meet new people. And I also wanted to say that I got a lot done, which I usually don't. So that was great.
Well, I appreciate being here, and I appreciate all of you, new faces, and some who are not so new that I'm getting to know. And we'll look up all of your channels and subscribe once we're done here. And hopefully you'll do the same. Like I said, my channel is The Story Detective, and we do everything story-oriented. Put it under a Sherlockian microscope and break it down and hope to make your craft journey easier. Plus those Tekken lightsaber reviews, just because they're fun.
Yes.
They are fun.
They are really fun. So thank you for everyone who is here. I love having same guests, new guests all the time. So I know there's some people on the screen who will be here multiple times throughout the month. My schedule is linked on my Ko-fi page, which is down below, along with everyone else's links. And I will be sprinting again tonight at 7 p.m. like the banner says. Again, my name is Zara Hoffman. I'm the self-published author of 6 books, which is very exciting to say. I have an AuthorTube channel where I've made videos about writing and musical theater. I have more of those planned, some videos planned about mental health. I don't know when any of those will be coming out because I am also working on a podcast with a friend and I'm the one who edits all of it. So that takes time in addition to writing. But I am hosting a lot of sprints this month. I'm hosting 12 total. So this was the first one, which means there are 11 more to go. And I hope to see you tonight or at another sprint very soon.